Greetings everyone, a very warm welcome to you once again. My name is Nick, we're on the ZX Spectrum 48K, and this time we're looking at a Formula 1 racer which doesn't look anything like this title screen, but anyway, it's Championship Run, published by Impulze in 1991. I think it aims to be a little bit like Continental Circus, which wasn't perfect on the ZX Spectrum. We're going to have to do this one on keys because I can't get the joystick to work for some reason. Anyway, like Continental Circus, you go around various tracks, and to qualify you must get a certain rank. So we start off on this first track. Here it is, I think it's Silverstone. We've got a rather magenta flashing car here. Doesn't look promising so far, so we'll see how it runs. Okay, good luck everyone. Continental Circus was by Virgin Mastertronic on the Spectrum in 1989. This one was 2 years later. Now I'm controlling my own gears. Oh man, okay, so the draw distance isn't too bad. Colour clash isn't too bad. Considering we were on a magenta car and a green track, so that helped. Oh god, so this helps a little bit, and already I'm on fire. It moves really badly, this, in terms of controlling. Scrolling isn't too bad for a 48k thing, but it's very hard to drive the car. Any slightest knock with any opponents and your car will be in flames. You see in the middle there, we need to get to position 75 by the end of this lap to qualify. At the moment we're at rank 84. Now I do know a poke to automatically qualify continuously, so if we don't do very well I will go back into there. So you can see it's over 4 laps. If the car blows up, then you fail to the game ends, or if you fail to get your qualifying position by the lap end, then you've had it as well. Now you see the distanceometer in the the left hand side of things. I'm not enjoying this, but anyway, it's moving quite fast. That's the one positive we can say. Continental Circus wasn't perfect on the ZX Spectrum, but it was a little bit better than this. Oh god, come on Nick, go back on the track. Now, other racers, if you're looking for a Formula 1 experience on the ZX Spectrum, is the modern day homebrew 4K race and 4K race plus. That's pretty good. That's a bit like pole position, that one, which also come out on the Spectrum. You've got Grand Prix Circuit, which is quite good, but quite annoying engine sounds. Engine sounds, this one aren't too bad. My favourite one, just for retro terms, but it wasn't as quick as this by far, is Checkered Flag. You've got Grand Prix Driver, which is awful, probably worse than this, believe it or not, and then Nigel Mansell's Grand Prix, which we've also reviewed on the Commodore Amiga. They've gone for undulation, that hasn't worked. My eyes are really hurting here. Car's in flames. Now, if you go into the pits, much like Continental Circus, the car will fix itself, but you lose valuable time. You can see my gears there up in the middle. Oh man, I'm not enjoying this at all. 1, 2 and 3. If you had this back in the day, then let me know. I'm not sure what other systems it come out on, but yeah, it's a Continental Circus clone, and it isn't doing quite as well. The only good thing is the speed. Overtaking the cars is very cumbersome. Look at that, it's weaving left and right, those. I don't know why the pit things are on there. No, I didn't stop, so that didn't fix the car. Oh, and you just get hit by behind all the time. I hate this game. Oh man. Right, I'm sure it's going to end soon. Anyway, we're on lap 2. We'll put the poke in after this because the car's just going to explode. Yeah, see. The opponent cars seem to deliberately crash into you. So it's not about your position in the race. It's just trying to get your rank. But as you can see, I don't know why it says position in the top second, because I've been overtaken by 3 or 4 cars. I don't understand that at all. So it doesn't really work as an experience, I don't think. Better races are available. Yeah, go for 4K race, although that isn't strictly chase. Well, I suppose it is chase view, like an oblique chase view, but Checkered Flag for the win, with its square wheels and all. Hooray! Oh man, if you've got a favourite F1 racer that I haven't covered yet, then put it below. There's a few top-down ones by Codemasters, I think Grand Prix Simulator and Grand Prix Simulator 2. Probably a few other ones that I've covered, but I've just forgotten. Cars seem to be burning quite badly now. I think they'd stop the race if a car was really like that, because it would probably explode. Engine sounds, well, they're interesting, aren't they, if we can't say anything else about them. Right, lap 2. What do we get on the first lap? About 20 odd seconds. Hooray! Not hooray. Oh, I'm really having to concentrate here. Right, the car doesn't hand too badly around the corners. I have to ease off the accelerator and sometimes change down gear. It's holding it well in 3rd gear. I think a modern day Formula 1 car might have 6 or 7 gears, not including reverse. I don't think you can't reverse this car. And that does look quite an explosion. It's going off like a popcorn machine, or is it fixing the car? We fixed the car by going into the pits. Good. So all that dust was mechanics, who are invisible, repairing the car. And we're off again. It's an amazing race, right? But our rank is 95, and we need to get up to 76, or it's Doomsville. It might say game over. Distance, the end of the lap, 1,700, ticking down there, you might have seen. High score 0, because no one's played this before me. Yeah, well, good attempt at undulation then, let's say that. But the game is largely unplayable. I don't think too many people would have qualified right to the end on this one. If you are one of those people, let me know. But the cars just come from behind, just drive through you, and annoyingly, you're in flames quite quickly. It's flawed, this game. I do not like it. I do not like it at all. But, you know, we can't like all games. A lot of the games I come to might be mediocre, some might be poor, and it's game over because we did not qualify in the specified time. Right, poke. Let's try a poke. Let's try a poke championship run. It's a good name, but not a very good game. Right, okay. Might be better on joystick, but as I say, I can't get that to work. So OPCVX, that's blooming awkward, I can tell you. If you own a real Spectrum, or just emulation, then track this down for a few goes, but don't waste too much of your time on it because you'll be pulling your hair out at how unplayable it is. A bit clashy here. Here's all the cars. Here's the start. They're all going to whiz off. My rank is 0. I think that might be... No, my rank's 90. Right, now I should be able to do all 4 laps unless the car explodes. So let's just see if I can get a few more tips on how to drive this thing. Now, let's through past one car. As you can see, the frame rate, which I don't fully blame it for because it's ZX Spectrum, the frame rate makes overtaking the cars difficult the way they've rendered them. Because there's a big box around them a little bit. But they're big cars. Let's go past him there, see? Already I crashed into the front and the back of the car's on fire, unless it's doing an imitation of the 60s Batmobile. Batman's not in this, as far as I'm aware. Batman, it's the Batmobile. Yeah. Right. What can we say about the horizon? It looks like a big castle. Is there a big castle at Silverstone? I'm not sure that's what they were going for. But there's a few turrets there, isn't it? Perhaps we're travelling... I thought it was Silverstone. Perhaps we're travelling towards a massive Windsor castle. That scenery probably changes if you progress onto the next track. But if you've got to the next track, let me know, because I probably won't be going there. How long have we been playing this for? About 7-8 minutes, I think. Right, past him. Right, am I getting better? So, if you compare it to Lotus Turbo Esprit on the Amiga, which you shouldn't do, because they were probably around at the same time, weren't they? This being 1991. Yeah, hell's bells. There's no reason to buy this in 1991. I could let this off if it was 1986, or even come out with Continental Circus did in 89, although that still was a little bit late for Continental Circus. But yeah, there's no reason to have been playing this in 1991. Better races were available. Yeah, Lotus or this. What's your choice? Don't know. Lotus did come out on the ZX Spectrum, 128k. They did a pretty good job of it, as much as they could do. So have a look at that one. I have reviewed it. Lotus Turbo Challenge. Not to get confused with Turbo Esprit, which is a completely different game. Have a look at that one as well. That was pre-Grand Theft Auto, I suppose, and you can see there's like influences. It's the closest you're going to get to Grand Theft Auto on the ZX Spectrum. Excellent stuff. Right, how are we doing? It says rank 3, or 83, or something like 93, who knows. Get past him. So it's just going to be me driving around now to see if we can complete 4 laps of this thing. What did I do first time? About 23 odd seconds. So it's probably a little bit more interesting to play than to watch, but much more annoying to play than to watch, trust me. Pits? No. Pit the younger, pit the elder. Put your favourite below. Both top politicians. Maybe. See, you learnt some history there. Put your favourite Prime Minister below, and anyone that puts Boris Johnson down, I consider you must be drunk on banana beer or something. Away we go. Look at the engine sounds quite good on this, but it doesn't sound like a Formula 1 car, does it? It sounds like a tractor idling at a crossroads before he goes to his other field and plants beans. Yeah, you wouldn't record that and put it on your iPod or your iPhone to listen to it for a few hours. Formula 1. But what could you have done? With the Spectrum Blipper, I suppose he didn't have too much decisions. Position 1, it says, and who am I to argue? the Poke Fairy is helping us today. Yeah. At time of recording, it's the Formula 1 2019 season. Leclerc has just won the last 2 races for Ferrari. Ferrari hadn't won for quite some time before that point. Lewis Hamilton is probably going to win the championship. He's about 60 odd points ahead. But I might, if you're watching this years after this video's gone up, I might be talking ancient history. You comment who's actually in the lead of the championship now. And I bet it's a name I've never heard of now. But my 5-year-old self, or older than now, Nick, what are you talking about? My 5-year-old self might come in and read it and say, yes, hello, excellent. I do answer the comments on the older videos a lot of the time. I like it when they get shown a bit of love. Excellent. Occasionally there's a spike on an old one, which is always good. Always good because they don't age, because these games are back in a retro era. So whether I recorded them last week or 5 years ago, still watch them. Hooray! But the latest ones I've probably gone gradually more and more mad as life has worn down my sanity, as it tends to do. But you know, the world wasn't designed for sane people in mind, I don't think. It was designed for nincompoops and insane people and crazies. So if you're halfway through, especially in the halfway area rather than the extremes, that's what I say. And I can't believe I'm doing this sober. Who's writing this script? No one. And I think that is half the problem. Nice magenta sprite in a pink car. I suppose the car at the moment that's nearest this is Racing Point. This isn't a licensed game. There's no real Formula 1 teams or Formula 1 drivers here. It's just you, arcade style, whizzing around, trying to get the arcade positions, and hoping maybe for a power cut which will end you from this. So it's not very addictive. Much better races out there. Scenery is a bit odd. It just seems to be one manor house or building rather than mountains or hills that most other people went for. So it's a bit generic. It's a lazy release. I think they knew that they'd sell a few copies on this, or not a great deal, but right near the end of the ZX Spectrum's run, 1991. At time of recording, the Spectrum Next is 2 years overdue from coming out. I really hope that'll come out before now, because when that does, we can have some amazing games, and some struggling games might very well get rewritten. This is one of those ones that if you rewrote this with a better frame rate and different coloured cars, better engine sounds, you know, it might considerably lift it, and then you could consider this game as a first draft. But the Spectrum Next time recording is still not released. If you're watching this and it has been released, then let me know. Has this game been remade? A lot of them will be, I'd imagine. I hope. We can fingers crossed. But yeah, we're playing a first draft here rather than any proper game. Now that sort of undulation, we're not going anywhere, are we? It's playing magic tricks on your eyes. And the car's in flames. Is that it? Or is it going to get fixed? We might be in the pits without knowing it. We're at the top of a hill. Right, the car is fixed. Right. So we're on lap 3. We've got to do this lap and the next lap, and it should be over. But I have to be honest with you. With this game, I'm slowly losing the will to live. I'm running out of things to say, because we're just driving around a track, which is, well, awkward, isn't it? How many cars on this track? They seem to be popping up every now and again. But 4K Race for the win, I'd say. Play that one instead. 4K Race Plus. There's 2 of them I reviewed. The second one, 4K Plus, just was an evolution of the first game. Originally they come out as a part of a competition, but the second one, a slightly bigger car, slightly wider track, and it's a slightly better experience, although both of them are pretty good. Both of them are pretty good. This one with a poke on is quite boring, because you know you're going to make it anyway. I might deliberately crash the car so it's actually in flames. No pit radio stuff here, no Murray Walker commentary. You're not wrong there, Murray. As it did on the PlayStation 1 between Brundle and Murray Walker. That's when the commentary first started getting involved in this. But there's actually hundreds and hundreds of Formula 1 games from retro gaming and going forward, and they always continue because it's a popular genre. If you want to know how many Formula 1 games I reviewed on the channel, either go on to click on the channel and just type F1 as a search, or on the main YouTube search bar, N Jenkin, which is the name of the channel, and Formula 1 or F1, and enter, and then you'll probably see a list. Right, maybe I should do a video at some point, all Formula 1 games reviewed on the channel so far. It won't be as boring as this footage, that's for sure. It's not the most interesting game in the world, is it? Not much going on. Overtaking is random. And yeah, no real reason to come back to this. Not sure what it scored in the day. I think it was a full price game, which doesn't offer very good value. Should have been like a cover disc, or like £1.99 at the most, but I think it was a full price game. So if I'd bought this as a kid, I would have felt pretty ripped off, because I wouldn't have qualified. I wouldn't have known the Pokes back in the day. I wouldn't have qualified maybe for the first or second time. And yeah, maybe with a kid's imagination you might get a bit more out of this, pretending you're using a real Formula 1 race. But it's gone for a grid positions rather than actual race, so it's disconnected as a racing experience there. So it's pure arcade, and the arcade element is flawed because you can't overtake any of the cars that easily. They're too big, they wander left and right, and the frame rate makes it possible to judge anything. And the cars coming up from behind. This happens on a few other games as well. Oh, it's game over also. Thank God for that. Yeah, so we won't take that one any further. Thank you for watching that for as long as you did, if indeed you're still there. So yeah, a pretty poor game that's come out way too late. So hope you liked having a look at that one. That was Championship Run on the ZX Spectrum 48K, published by Impulze in 1991, a poor Continental Circus clone. If you've got any comments about this game, similar games, or anything retro, then please put that below. You're always more than welcome, and I love reading your comments. Until next time, take great care of yourself, and a very fond goodbye.
Goodbye.